Hey guys, it's Matt here. Just gonna call myself Matt on this video. And I know it's been a long time since I've done a video. And right now I look like total shit and I realize it because I have been sick for the last 2 days and I haven't shaved or done anything, hardly. I took a lot of days off and as far as vacation days to do a bunch of stuff and I haven't really done it. But I have 2 more days of this and hopefully tomorrow I'll get a lot of stuff done. So anyways, this video is about uh, basically just going over my New Year's resolutions and also going over some other things I started thinking about today. And if I sneeze or I cough or whatever, just excuse me. I've been sick and I don't give a shit anyways. I don't even care. I always say that a lot. So what are my New Year's resolutions? So first one is a very important one. And hopefully I'll look back on this video, next year or whatever, and look at this. So, conquer social anxiety. Now, that's a very kind of a high goal to have, but I don't really care that it might seem unrealistic, but that's too bad. I like to have unrealistic goals and aspirations. So, what's the second one? Get good with women. No, well, actually, it is, but I don't know what that means. I just wrote that down. I'm just doing a lot of different stuff, and I figured I'd put that on there, or whatever you want to call it. I what I mean is that, and a very controversial thing to say, but basically have it so I don't have to have these long gaps between girlfriends or whatever. I guess a lot of people are object to this idea of having a skill in that area, but that kind of goes along with the first one. So whatever, fuck you, I don't care. People might think it's bad. Lose weight. Well, I'll tell you. So in late 2009, early 2010, I lost a shit ton of weight, and that was kind of something I'd continued from about 2000. Oh God, 2007, 2008, where I lost like 60 pounds. So since about 2011, 2012, thereabouts. I hate to say that word thereabouts, but I've gained about 30 pounds of it back or something like that, or maybe 20 pounds of it back. If I could just get down 20 more pounds, then I think it would be a lot better. Now this one is a very maybe another controversial one in a certain way. Whoever the hell watches this, become self-employed in 2016. Now, I'm taking a lot of Udemy, and if you don't know what Udemy is, it's kind of a website with a lot of online courses where you pay to take them. And usually, what happens, this is a weird thing with Udemy, is that they're like $300 a course, and of course I'm not paying $300, but they have these coupons where they have these sales where they're like 10, 15 bucks for these supposedly normally $300 courses. I don't know who pays the $300 ever. It's kind of a weird thing that they have going with that. So I'm taking some on arbitrage, or is that how to pronounce it? Internet marketing, web design, eBay, drop shipping, all this shit. So I'm hoping to get at least one of the things going in 2016, if not 2 or 3 of those things. So that's one thing that I really have been wanting to do for a long time, is become self-employed. And I have a lot of reasons for that, but mainly it's because I don't like to have a set schedule in life where I have to do things at a certain time. Maybe by a certain time would be more manageable and reasonable, but within a certain time frame, having to go to work, having to take calls from asshole customers all fucking day. Anyways, so that's another thing. So I think the final New Year's resolution is get a full lineup for my band, and that would be the band Pathless Land, which is my progressive power metal project, whatever you want to call it. There's a lot of like psychedelic influences and death metal influences, black metal influences, goes all over the fucking place, you know. So, but that's what I want to do. So those are like my goals. Now, it's kind of funny looking back on all this time because I was on a podcast years back. I was part of this podcast sort of on the forum, and I helped I'm not going to mention who this is because I just really don't feel like going into that right now, but it was a podcast and it was a certain person that did this. He was kind of a comedian involved in a few controversial things, honestly. Drinking tea right now. So I was involved in this podcast and I helped book some bands and stuff. So I was on one of his episodes, and this kind of comes up from time to time. This made me think a lot about this. And I've been kind of accused or labeled as being kind of low energy. And that made me think about a lot of stuff, like how, in what ways am I low energy? In what ways am I kind of boring or whatever, you know, because the whole thing happened was, it was kind of Howard Stern kind of character where, you know, he would kind of make fun of people. And later on, his forum that he had for the show became this other forum that was involved with some really fucked up shit, or at least one of the posters you might know as a person that actually shot some people. But originally, the forum was these other people. I'm going to go back and try to... Okay, I'm going to try to explain this. So there was a forum for this podcast, and then some of the people that from that forum, when the person who did the podcast kicked them off, formed this other forum, which Elliot Rodger was part of, which, you know, it God damn it, why did I fucking give that shit away anyways? If you look into it, it's pretty fucked up, but maybe I shouldn't even mention that shit. But so I was part of this forum, and it was for a podcast that these other guys from that forum... I'm trying to explain this. These guys from that forum founded another forum that was against that forum. That was the one that Elliot Rodger posted on, because it was against... It was kind of because he got pissed off that the guy censored the guy with the show, censored that forum. That one of the guys left and did this other forum, and that's what became the one that he was posting on. So, anyways, I hope I explained that enough. That maybe it doesn't make any sense. If you're interested in asking me about that, I'll explain further. Or if you want to private message me, I'll explain further. So, I was on this show, and I had very little sleep the previous night, and I was pretty tired and just pretty low energy, honestly. So, kind of made fun of me and fucking picked on me and shit. The fuck is that sound? Thought I heard someone breathing. It was kind of scary. Maybe I'm hallucinating from all the illness in me. So, anyways, I went on this show, and I was made fun of and shit, and I got pissed and all this stuff. And I was supposed to interview this guy from this band and stuff. And I did that episode, and I just listened to it today for the first time in years. And I don't know. I don't know if I'm the same, if I'm the same person now, or if I've changed or what, because it's been quite a while. I'll just say, 4 or 5 or 6 years since that episode. So, in listening to it, I realized people over the years have kind of accused me of not having a lot of energy, or being kind of boring sometimes, dry, or I'm just like, what the fuck, man? Because everything in my head of what I envision myself to be is not low energy at all. And the shit's going on in my head. My mind is racing all the time. So I'm like, low energy. Maybe I don't sense. Maybe it doesn't come out that I'm low energy. And it's kind of with the social anxiety, people calling me quiet and all that shit. And it's like, I realize people think that of me, and then all of a sudden there'll be a left turn that people see me do. Not a left turn, is something abruptly that interrupts their perception of that reality. They're like, well, why do you do that? if you're like this, if you're like that, da da da. It's like, well, people have different sides to themselves. People have different ways of compartmentalizing their reality. They have different things that they do. They have different parts of their personality they don't show to everybody. And a lot of times, you know, maybe I'm not in the mood to be this high energy entertainer towards your stupid fucking ass that needs this validation from me because you want me to be some super outgoing fucking Superman, you know, of whatever. Do dick stands, as my friend used to say all the time. So I don't know. I don't know if I've changed since those times. But, you know, one of my goals this year is to maybe basically try to figure out what do I do to get higher energy levels in life. And I don't really care if other people see the higher energy necessarily, and they can call me low energy or whatever. And I don't know. It's something that people will do, but I guess, I don't know. I mean, it's just like they don't know. They really don't know what's going on in my head a lot of the time. And it may be different than what they think. Maybe, you know, maybe I am boring in some ways, like at work. Maybe I'm not talking as much to people as other people. Blah, blah, blah. How's the fucking weather? How's your fucking 20 kids? How's the fucking Packer game? I just don't give a shit. I have other things I'm worried about. I'm reading like a fucking, you know, comic books about Hellblazer or whatever. I'm more excited by that shit than sports. I'm sorry. That makes me low energy. That makes me boring than fucking whatever. I don't know. You know, I have other concerns other than people's boring ass lives. That makes me sound like a misanthrope. Then fine, so be it. You know, I don't know. You know, I realize that there's a conflict there. You know, I have to be more interested in other people in order to be less low energy. You know, but really, it's like, should I not? It's like a paradox. It's like, if I give a shit about what people think, it'll make me worse. But if I don't give a shit about what people think, at least part of that way there, I'm going to be seen as low energy until I stop giving a fuck about what people think. It's like this endless loop of bullshit and cycle. And so right now I'm actually taking a course, or it's actually this course that's been on the internet for a long time, Overcoming Social Anxiety. Part of the thing is basically you just kind of do these thought stoppages, as they call it. You know, they call it automatic negative thoughts. And you're supposed to say in your mind, stop, or whatever, you know, when you do that, when you have these thoughts. I mean, another thing I'm doing is I'm getting back into like sort of chaos magic and neurolinguistic programming. And people might laugh about that shit. I don't give a fuck. Whatever. You know, some of the stuff is pretty weird. Maybe I'm overcoming my sickness right now. I had a cold for the last 3 days, but now I'm actually getting all excited and shit. So, anyways, to sum it all up, people may think I'm low energy. They only see one piece of it. They only see me in one aspect, one situation, and I do want to challenge that. I want to challenge that perception of a lot of people that I'm low energy. And that's not a New Year's resolution, but maybe it all kind of fits in with what I'm doing. And by being more focused on shit, by being more passionate about my life, I think I could maybe destroy that perception a little bit. And I've got to be less misanthropic and not, care about other people and shit. I mean, not care, not whatever. I'm confused now. Anyways, that's all for this video. It's just kind of a diary of what I've been up to and my New Year's resolutions, and just maybe something to look back on in a year.